All right, moving on to tonight's other matchup. Erik, what's your favorite DFS play from the Dodgers-Braves game?
Well, if you're playing a slate that includes both of these games, I think you have to find your pitcher here. I don't really think the other guys are going to go very long at all. I think both pitchers are fine choices here, given that there's reason that they may need to go deep. This is the first game out of 3 in a row. I would lean slightly towards Walker Buehler here, although I think you wouldn't go wrong with Morton either. That's mainly because I think the Dodgers have even more incentive to have him go deep into the game because they're already planning a bullpen day in one of the next 2 games. Buehler was allowed to throw 6 1/3 in game 1 of the NLDS. He came back on short rest and still threw 4 1/3. I think he's the best bet of any of tonight's 4 pitchers to go at least 6 innings. And even though I think I'm lower than the field on Buehler this season, his strikeout rate was actually a career low. That's a fine mark at 26%, but not elite, despite that really good ERA. It's all about the workload, I think, in the playoffs for starting pitchers, and he's the one who should have the best chance to go 6 or 7 innings.
All right, Nick, what's your favorite play from this one?
I'm going to go over to the Braves side of this. I'm actually going to go with another value play here with Joc Pederson at 2.9K. He tends to step up in the postseason. We all know Joctober and everything, right? And at this price, all I'm going to care about with Joc Pederson is, has he taken the starter he's facing tonight deep in his career? Walker Buehler? Yes, he has, in limited plate appearances. And then on top of all that, too, I mean, like Joctober and everything, but this is also like a revenge series for Joc Pederson, too. So more intangibles in this than anything, but the biggest thing is he's taken Walker Buehler deep before. He does well in the postseason, so I'm going to go with him tonight as a value play.
All right, Garion, who are you going with?
Yeah, I'm going to echo a lot of what Erik said. I think whether you're playing Classic or Showdown, the National League game is where you're getting your pitchers from. However, I mean, it's funny how you can interpret the same information 2 different ways, because nothing Erik said was incorrect. I just tend to lean slightly in the other direction with Walker Buehler when it comes to volume in this game. I know the Dodgers are planning to have a bullpen game at some point, whether that is game 4 or game 5, but the fact of the matter is they're down 2-0 right now. And I do think we've seen Dave Roberts hit the panic button early with some amazing starting pitching in games that they have to win. While this technically isn't an elimination game, it's kind of an elimination game. You can't go down 3-0 here. So I think if this were a 1-1 series, I'd probably lean Walker Buehler. But because the Dodgers do have their backs up against the wall, and because they might have to do something drastic if Buehler gives up a run in the first inning, which he probably won't. We'll get to that in a second. But I'm going to lean Morton. The strikeout rate is also something that skews towards Morton. I mean, he was a 29% strikeout rate pitcher during the regular season. In his 2 playoff appearances so far in 2021, he's got a 36% strikeout rate. Obviously, the Dodgers are not the Brewers, but I just think Morton has the slight upside advantage here. So I lean Charlie Morton.